DJI in the news again. So a U.S. judge has ruled that DJI actually violated the patent of drone maker Autel, and they are recommending that most DJI models be pulled from the store shelves and blocked from being imported. The infringement was on a patent which was for the, it kind of describes it as a rotary wing aircraft apparatus, which has arms extending from a body and a rotor assembly attaching to each end of the arm. If the judge's ruling and recommendation is upheld fully, DJI could be kicked out as early as July. The infringement really mentions the DJI Mavic 2 Pro and Mavic 2 Zoom. However, Autel and their team of lawyers are actually pushing for the ban to cover other DJI models, including the Phantom 4 and Spire lines. So, Amit, what are some of your initial thoughts when hearing this? Do we think this ban will hold? I've seen other articles just predicting that there'll be some court settlement and Autel may be able to license this patent and the use of this technology to DJI. What are some of your initial thoughts when hearing this?
It's a tricky question. So I am not an attorney by any stretch of the imagination. That's why we have
none of us are, full transparency.
So I don't know if the patent was violated or it wasn't. DJI is one of the bigger manufacturers out there, and they make a good product just like Autel and others as well. In terms of what the action will be, will they be kicked out and stuff like that? Honestly, it's hard to say. It's a question because at the end of the day, the way we look at it as a company, as an airspace management company, our primary focus has always been the safety of the airspace. So any drone that can operate in the national airspace safely, my family, your family, we all fly in the same airspace, right? So I want anything in the airspace, especially and depends on the type of use case, a recreational use versus a commercial use versus visual line of sight versus beyond visual line of sight. So as long as it's a safe aircraft, for us, the industry to move forward, we need a lot of different drones out there. So I don't know what's going to happen there, or I don't even want to guess. I really don't know how to answer your question in a yay or nay, because I don't know what's going to happen, honestly.
Yeah. Billy, any thoughts?
Well, you know what? This isn't the first time that we've seen this. I think that specifically this is regarding a patent with the quick release props. So with all these consumer drones, it's great because you can just kind of twist the props on. They're locked into place. Beforehand, you needed screwdrivers. Actually, with the new Mavic Mini, you need screwdrivers, which is kind of weird. I think they don't have the quick release mechanism to save on weight, so it's under 249 grams. But regardless, I think it's about that quick release prop system. And you think about all of DJI's drones that use quick release props, it's almost every single one of them that's out right now. I think it's a little bit overkill, though, to think that because of this patent, because of how the propeller is attached to the drone, they're not going to be able to be sold in the United States. It's something that, again, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know how something like that works, but I feel like it's a stretch to say that they can't be sold at all because of a propeller attachment design. This is not the first time we've seen Autel try and take stabs at DJI to try and get them to restrict or limit sales here in the United States. Of course, Autel wants, a piece of the pie here in the US because of how many people are buying up drones. This is probably the biggest market, I'd say, for DJI. So yeah, it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen. I can't see DJI just kind of walking away from the United States market. So I don't think that that's a possibility. There's going to have to be an agreement that's met. But man, to be totally stop being sold in the United States, I can't believe that that's even a question when we're just talking about a propeller design.
Yeah, in the article too, another article said that it's possible that the breadth of the patent is just too wide, and it's they can't infringe upon it in its current writing. And again, I'm not an attorney either, but I would have to believe that as the industry develops and the technology develops and the hardware develops, new patents will come into play, and be interesting to see if they can actually get DJI to stop all sales in the United States. I mean, if that were to happen, what do you guys think the effects would be on the UAS industry here?
Well, first of all, kind of backtracking, you think about the patent wars, right? I mean, look at like Apple and Samsung going back and forth with their different patents. And there was never talk of one phone not being able to be sold in the United States, at least not that I was aware of. So again, maybe that's kind of why I'm bringing that up. I don't understand why that's even being asked, but that does open up a huge possibility, because you think about it, everybody that I know knows who DJI is and most likely has a DJI drone. We'll talk about it moving through some of the other articles, but the ratio of DJI drones to all the other manufacturers is so lopsided that, of course, everybody has their DJI drone now, but in the coming years, who would kind of rise to the top? Because I guess the Evo 2 is the newest drone right now that you can buy that's on that level of being like a prosumer drone, but there's really no offerings from Parrot or Unique that are necessarily brand new. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting. I think there's, like I said, there's plenty of fish in the ocean, right? So it's a huge market. There will be multiple players in the long run. And the only comment I will have is the technology in this industry is evolving at a much faster pace than any other technology. So what's unique and new now is going to be outdated 6 months from now. So you have to bear that in mind. So there are a lot of ways to look at it from a different lens. So I think there will be multiple players. Now, who gets major market share versus minor market share may vary, but yeah, there will be different players.